Good afternoon, Jalen. So I know that in so many words, you and Jakai after during the post-game press conference after Middle Tennessee State kind of alluded to, guys not being where they need to be mentally, especially in pregame warmup. So I just want to know how you go about addressing that, if you address that in the locker room before a pregame, if you have addressed it in the bye week, or how you go about make sure that doesn't happen again.
But yeah, that's obviously one of the big things we have to work on. We obviously took that bye week as a huge adjustment to where we had to put certain arrangements in and focus on certain things that we didn't focus on the past couple of weeks. But all that's in the past, and I feel like we worked on that, and we're going to show that as time goes on. And we're going to show that day by day, and then leading up until game day. So we've been working on a lot of things during bye week, so that won't happen again.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to David Wilson from the Miami Herald. David.
Hey, Jalen. On that same note, and I'm not sure how much you can kind of tell or reveal, but are there specific things you guys change with, I don't know, the night before or pre? Like, are there kind of specific changes you guys make to your routine that you kind of hope will prevent some of that stuff? Or is there anything you can kind of tell us kind of specifically?
No, I mean, we just been preparing. We obviously took advantage of the bye week, so there's not certain things we change or anything like that. It's just harping on more things than usual and just getting back to that daily routine and taking, that bye week and taking advantage of the bye week, like I was saying. So no huge changes, just working.
Next, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam.
Hey, Jalen. So I guess my specific question is, how have you seen the team improve? How have you guys improved on run blocking over the course of the last 10 days? I know that was something you guys had an issue with against MTSU. And then kind of a bigger picture question, just start of ACC play, still having a chance to win the division, win a conference title potentially. How much do you guys kind of use that as a chance to kind of start like the slate clean, I guess?
To answer your first question, I feel like we not just improved on the run game, we improved on every single thing regarding offense and defense. But alluding to the run game, I feel like, we just need to pick certain things up and just work on our execution. So that's one of the big things we worked on, and taking advantage of every rep and watching every single film, taking advantage of the bye week to watch a lot of film on the guys so we can be really prepared. And when it comes to practice, we give a certain look, we can pick it up, and we'll be prepared. And can you repeat your second question, please?
Just like, with ACC play starting this week, how much is that a chance to kind of put the past behind you, move forward, and focus on goals you have for like the overall season as a team?
Obviously, we haven't played a conference game yet, so this is a big challenge for us coming up, our first ACC conference game. So we're going to have a big challenge ahead of us, and it's really right to put all that to the past. Like all the things that happened in the weeks before is obviously good enough to just leave that where it is and just focus on the present right now and focus on winning each game. Each day, and being 1-0 each day, and then obviously coming out 1-0 on game day as well against North Carolina.
Next, we'll go to Luke Chaney from All Hurricanes. Luke.
Hey, what's up, Jalen? So, in watching film over the course of this bye week from, your first 4 games, what were some of the specific areas, across the offensive line that you feel needed improvement and I guess have been addressed over the course of that bye week?
I feel like, it's a few. So, as an offensive line, offensive line play, we need to improve, just keep improving in the run game, just moving the guys. And, of course, we're going to be facing some bigger bodies with North Carolina being some good, talented defensive tackles and defensive ends. We need to just focus on, moving the guys and picking up everything they bring at us. So that's the big thing we've been focused on, and obviously picking up everything in the pass game as well. So we've been giving certain looks, pass and run, so where we be really prepared for the teams.
Our last question for Jalen comes from Azubi Charles at Kane Sports. Azubi?
Hey, Jalen. Just first off, just want to get your thoughts. How important is it to, get that first one in the ACC for you guys coming off the 2 losses? And kind of what was your message to, the guys in that O-line group to say, hey, let's put this, 2 games behind us and focus on ACC play?
I feel like it is really special going into this game, getting this dub, because, obviously we're not really focused on the Texas A&M loss or Middle Tennessee State loss. So everything is put on. The main focus of the whole team was just to put that all in the past and just focus on what we need to focus on, what we can control, because obviously we can't control the past. So that's the biggest message I've said and everybody else has said in the program. And I feel like that's going to show. And then it's going to show, day by day too, when we put in that work. So,
David?
Hey, Elijah, it was kind of obviously a weird game defensively for you guys where it was kind of just really 4 huge plays that killed you guys. I'm kind of curious, just like what was the film review of that game like? I'm sure obviously like some frankness with the guys in the secondary, but how did you guys didn't feel like you guys got as much pressure, but the way they run that air raid offense, it was going to be tough. Just what was that film session like coming out of that game?
That film session was really just cleaning up our mistakes. It's really on us. So, like Coach Cristobal says, you put it on film now. So now people, they know, like what we do wrong and what we do bad. So it's really just us, on us to clean up our mistakes. Those 4 players were just mistakes on us. So the stuff we got to clean up.
Next, we'll go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris?
Hey, Elijah. I was just curious what you think of the slow starts in games recently for the team, not just offense or defense, just in general. You guys just haven't had those starts. Your thoughts on that?
That's definitely something that we've, circled as a team and just players in general. Like players have gotten together and said, man, what can we do to start fast? Like, is it something that we need to do between us? Is it something that we need to, go to the coaches about and see? Is it something that we could come to and just fix? And it's been fixed. People have been talking about it, met with coaches and stuff like that. So I don't expect us to have any more slow starts like that.
Can you share what you guys came up with, what you'd like to do on game days?
I'm not really in those conversations. It's more of the older guys, the team leaders and stuff. So I'm pretty sure Coach will break it to us on Friday. Let us know.
Next, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam?
Hey, Elijah. So you guys obviously start ACC play on Saturday. First off, just what have you seen in general from the UNC offense? They've been prolific this year. And then second, 2-2, I'm sure not how you guys want to start the season, but, considering you guys start ACC play, could still win a division title, conference title is all still possible. I mean, how much is it kind of like a fresh start for you guys?
ACC is the biggest, that's what you're here for. Like, that's what we're playing for. So as far as, going 2-2, that's behind us right now. So all we can do is focus on UNC's offense. And you mentioned the offense. Yeah, they're really good. They can pass the ball, run the ball. Quarterback can make plays with his feet. So it's just on us to contain that.
Our next question for Elijah comes from Frank Tucker of Canes Country.
Hey, Elijah, with the lack of pass rush production, has there been anything you guys worked on specifically during the bye week to improve on that? I know you guys have played pretty solid against the run, but kind of compared it to last year, it's kind of a slow start to the year in regards to sack numbers.
Yeah, we've worked on everything with Coach Wright, with Coach Joe, all the D-line coaches. We've just been working on everything. We understand, sack numbers haven't been up. That's something that we see as well. So we've just been working on everything the whole bye week, this week, just continue to get better. Pass rush and the run game. It still starts with the run game as well.
Our last question for Elijah comes from Mike McCoy of the Big O Show. Mike?
How you doing, Elijah? So offensively, UNC poses a similar threat that, Middle Tennessee State did to your defense. I know a lot of errors 2 weeks ago were mental, but did you all as a defense learn anything new in terms of how to cover that type of attack or maybe attack that type of offense? Thanks.
I know for us up front, we've definitely, saw things that we could fix, in the pass rush game, in the run game. And I know 100% that Coach Steele and Coach Adai have met with the DBs countless times just to fix up those mistakes. It looks bad, but it's not really, it's just like mental errors and stuff like that we could easily be fixed.
Hey, Cam, obviously it's a solid start to the year for you, but last week or the last game was kind of alarming in regards to the big plays allowed. What are you guys doing to regroup as a unit?
The main thing is making sure we kind of fix our wrongs. You know, it was nothing wrong with the scheme or the play calls or anything. It was just more of we got to execute on the field.
Next, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam?
Hey Cam, going up against the wide receivers in practice, who have you seen who's maybe kind of stepped up, in the absence of X and Jacoby?
Kind of everybody's been stepping up. There's no like one person. Everybody's been trying to step up to make sure they can fill all the roles and make sure we won't miss a beat.
Our next question for Cam comes from David Wilson of the Miami Herald. David?
Hey, Cam. We all know obviously North Carolina has a very good offense and a good quarterback, good passing attack. What stands out about what makes that offense so good to you?
Air raid. They love throwing the ball. It's like the quarterback. He got 19 touchdowns, 1 interception, so he's doing a pretty good job. And then their receiving core, they can actually go get the ball. They got speed to them.
Next, we'll go to Anthony Year from 305 Sports. Anthony?
Hey, Cam, Northwestern Central this week, you played that game all 4 years. What does it mean for the city and for you, having played that game?
It means a lot. That's the one when the whole city come out. Everybody take off. Everybody get off their jobs and pack trash out. I'm 3-1 against them, so
touchdowns, 11 catches against you guys. What makes them a difficult cover?
I hope my boys come out there and pull out a win.
Next, we'll go to Zuby Charles from Kane Sport. Zuby?
Hey, Cam, just want to get your thoughts on, Kevin Steele this week took, all the blame for the secondary mishaps or the defensive mishaps. Just what are your thoughts on that? The coach, taking responsibility for that.
There's no really comments on it. He took the blame for it, but it's the guys out there that really got to go and execute. He can call, it could be a zone play, it could be a blitz play, it could be a man play. We got to go out there and execute it. So, which we didn't do. So.
Next, we'll go to Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris?
The way he runs routes, when you watch film on him, you kind of see he's going to find a way to get open. If you're covering him, he's going to change it and find himself to get open. The quarterback's always looking for him because he is a dynamic player.
Next, we'll go to Mike McCoy from the Big O Show. Mike, I believe you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Cam. Cam, I just wanted to ask you, in terms of leadership in the defensive secondary, is there someone that's taking it upon himself to take that role, whether it be emotionally, vocally? Can you speak on that?
To be honest, it's literally the whole group. Tyreek is one of the older guys, so he kind of steps up in a way. James, me, Avante, Al, Takori, DJ. It's like everybody steps up in their own way. Some people got other traits that's better than others, but everybody finds a way to step up and make sure everybody on point.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Brandon Adoy. Brandon?
Yeah, Cam, this was a close game last year. Is that into your mind? And what things are you processing to, ensure that you come out on top?
Fight through all 4 quarters. We can't come out slow. We got to come out throwing punches, and after we do that, we got to keep throwing punches. We try to maintain the lead and win the game. Last year came down to a play. We don't want to let it come to one play.
We'll do our last question for Cam. It comes from Daryl Streeter of Footballville. Daryl?
All right, Cam, the hop on the Miami Northwestern and Central rivalry. Your boys are a big underdog coming this week. If you could motivate them, you had to give them a motivational speech, man. What would you tell them in the locker room, bro?
You know what time it is. Like, it's Cent versus the West. There's nothing more to be said. That's one of them games you go out there and your coach don't got to give you no pep talk. It's bragging rights. That's all it is. It's bragging rights. So if they lose, then Central got to one up on them for the rest of the year until they play them next year. West win, we got to one up. Oh, and another thing, it's 13. The all-time record 13-12, which we up on. We don't want to let it be tied.